Hello and Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you can all hear me. I would really like to keep it short and positive. Like we've been through so many presentations, and one thing that we feel that indeed women do have a lot of hindrances and challenges um, in their journey towards education or technology, especially in Pakistan with connectivity issues and other issues. But looking at the topic, that I'm going to present on introducing digital technology and education philanthropy for women and girls. So when we talk about education philanthropy in the landscape of Pakistan, we think about all the underprivileged areas that are in need of education, and education philanthropy in terms of funds, donations, and volunteer time, or however you can work towards making education easily available to masses, right? When we think of a Pakistani growth, we think of all of us growing together, not just 10 or top 20% of the country growing. So this is what so this is how, and then when we talk about digital literacy, so before we talk about digital literacy and taking digital technology to the masses, first we have to take basic literacy to the masses, and then over that basic literacy framework can be built digital literacy. So this is the solution that we have proposed for the current challenges that many people are facing. uh, Please go to the next slide. So my organization, Society for Educational Welfare, started its operation by opening doors of education to the underprivileged sector of the society back in 1996 with the mission to promote education and inculcate Islamic values in youth for betterment of individuals to flourish a healthy society. Next slide, please. Please, next slide. The change began when a group of women decided to bring children from streets to school. They opened makeshift schools for underprivileged children in localities nearby, starting from one room, one teacher. By localities nearby, we mean the slums and the underprivileged areas that were near to their houses. They opened a school by going to that area and inviting the children. And as you can see, that if they got a veranda, they started teaching over there. If they got 2 rooms on rent, they started teaching in that space. And from 1996 till now, please next slide. What started with one room, one teacher has grown to 140 schools all over Pakistan. Uh, all these schools are right in the heart of the slum area, right in the heart of the urban slum or rural area, which is very accessible by all the females, especially girls. One basic hindrance of girls losing out on education is distance from the school. So we cater to this by being directly present to them near their house. Most of the public schools are within the slums, located within the slums. They don't have to come out there walking distance. And secondly, another booster for female education is that we have 1,000 female teachers. In our society, which is highly patriarchal, uh, parents feel very much comfortable if their daughters are taught by female teachers. So we have 1,000 female teachers who we source from the same locality, from the same slum. We dedicatedly do training on them for moral and for subject training, and we bring them to the level and standard that we want to instill in our children. Besides that, we have 19,000 from a few children. We are now grown up to 19,500 enrollments. And the good news here is that more than 50% of our enrollment is of girls. Most of our success stories are such that the girls who study from us come back and teach at BETEC, at our schools, Society for Educational Welfare schools. It's like their vision is that they want to give back to the society exactly what they achieved from BETEC, exactly what they received from their schools. They want to give back to the society. And besides the female empowerment of 1,000 teachers and having more enrollment of girls versus boys, as compared to all the stats you've seen till now where boys were ahead in literacy and others in all the provinces, we also work on the mothers. We do monthly programs called community awareness programs, in which we invite the mothers from the community. We work with them on literacy and cleanliness and ethics. We have 9 industrial homes where we teach our children, embroidery and the salient features of our organization. Thank you. We can go forward. Super. Whenever an organization like this is formed, Society for Educational Welfare, we have to go through a lot of registrations. And for that, please next slide. For that, we are registered under the Societies Act. We are not for profit. We are registered with Economic Affairs Division, and we are annually audited by Grant Thornton. Please, the next slide. How do we do this? Okay, so the first thing we do is pick and identify areas where which are socially or economically backward, where we feel there is a dearth of education, dearth of schools, there are no other NGOs or government schools in the vicinity. We select those areas with the help of the people. We open up a school, sometimes in a room, sometimes in a veranda, sometimes in two-bedroom flat. And then when this school becomes a growing concern, which you can see, we pick it and then we process. When this pool becomes a growing concern, when we have enough admissions on our list, then we make a purpose-built facility over there. And in the end, we hope to transform these students, these children from the slums and underprivileged areas to capable people serving humanity in all good ways. Next slide, please. Our rays of hope are our alumni. I'm just gonna briefly take you through some success stories. Please, next slide. This is Ikra Bashir. Ikra is the daughter of a fruit seller. She's joined us in class 1 and currently Ikra is pursuing PhD from Zavist. Please, next slide. We have Jemima, who was the first person in her family to be educated. She belongs to a Pashtun family. And now she's a teacher, and she convinced all her family members to allow her, all the siblings and cousins, to study. Now, this was one barrier that somebody talked about, that when we gave access to mobiles, etc., they were wrongly used. But if you provide education with moral ethics, they will always be better utilized. We have Mazhar Azma also here. He is from Dadabai, Karachi. All these districts that I'm talking about are the most backward. The children I'm talking about belong to the most lowest socioeconomic class. And Mazhar Azam, our little nugget, he's a speaker also, is now studying at DMC, Dow Medical College, to become a doctor. We work on various ways to achieve this. How we work on it is a long story, but coming to my topic of introducing digitalization in education philanthropy. So I'm going directly over there. After working on basic literacy for so many years, since we started from 1996, for the past 5 years, we've been working on digitalizations. The first step was to establish a computer lab in each of our schools so that our students have access to computers, and then making computer classes compulsory, introducing them to Scratch and other basic learning AI courses and basic learning robotics courses. And we made sure that our children are equipped for the future. Besides that, we have also involved a school analysis system and trained all our female staff and our principals on it. And with that, so this is the crux that we were with how we are incorporating digitalization and education philanthropy. For the future, you can just go to the last slide. Thank you.